Welcome to Rob on Holiday. This week we're in London, specifically at the XL Exhibition Centre to see the Disney 100 exhibition. Now this year, 2023, the Disney Company is 100 years old. That was when Walt and his brother Roy moved from Kansas City to LA to set up their Walt Disney Studios. Now to celebrate this, the Disney Company have put on an exhibition, and in the UK we're really lucky to see this because London is one of only 4 cities where you can see this exhibition. It started in Philadelphia, then it moved to Munich, and October the 13th, 2023, it opened at the XL Centre here in London, and it runs through until January, so you've got plenty of time to see it. And after London, it moves on to Chicago, and that's it, just 4 cities. Those are the only places that you can see this very special exhibition, and I'm looking forward to seeing the inside. Just a quick word about getting to the XL Centre. It's well served by public transport here in London. We came across on the cable car system from the North Greenwich, drops us straight off at a 5-minute walk to the centre. You can also get here on the Docklands Light Railway, and on the London Underground system, the Elizabeth line comes here as well. A few words about the tickets. They're £33 each, and where you get them from is the official Disney 100 website. The entrance is outside, which is good because the XL Centre not only hosting the Disney 100 exhibition at the moment, there's loads of other conventions going on. There's a musicals convention, a fantasy convention in there as well. But conveniently for us, the entrance to the Disney 100 is actually on the outside. So unless you're going in for a coffee, something, then it's quite easy to get in.
You ready? And let the show begin! Here's my pal Walt to tell you how the magic is made.
There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things, because we're curious.
We're in the second room here. The first room is the introduction room. This is the first real room that tells you the early stories of Walt Disney Studios. You can see there screens of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit going on, and his early days when he invented Mickey Mouse. Now, of course, the story behind Mickey Mouse is an interesting one. He created this character called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, but due to a contractual loophole, Universal kept the rights to it. But then on the train back from New York to Los Angeles, Walt came up with the idea of Mickey Mouse. And he told his brother in a telegram, "Don't worry, everything's going to be all right, I've got a great idea." And that Western Union telegram is on the wall here. The next room is all about the early films of the Walt Disney Studios. Obviously Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the first one, Pinocchio, Cinderella, from the 30s, 40s and 50s. Now where this exhibition scores really highly, I suppose, is if you're a Disney aficionado. For example, this book here, Cinderella book, was actually used as a prop at the start of the film. So you'll probably see a picture of this in a magazine or online. But the point is, it's behind glass, but you can actually see a book used at the start of the original animation film. It's really good seeing that. Room 4 is all about the characters. The most interesting thing here is the collection of maquettes of various Disney characters on display. These are used to help the animators draw the characters accurately. The room also takes you through the profile of the classic character types, the villain represented by Cruella de Vil, the sidekick represented by Olaf, and the hero represented by Ariel. Room 5 is about various adventure-related franchises such as Pirates of the Caribbean and Jungle Cruise. The Island at the Top of the World. I'm old enough to remember seeing this at the cinema in the 1970s. There's a really good model here of the Hyperion airship. Now, if you've been to Disneyland Paris, you will recognise this because this is the front of the airship that juts out of the Cafe Hyperion in Tomorrowland. It's a really good detail model. Star Wars and Marvel fans will also enjoy the exhibits from these franchises in the Adventure and Discovery Room. Music is a big part of almost every Disney project, so it makes sense that there is a room dedicated to music from the films and parks in this exhibition. Here you can view album covers and sheet music from a variety of Disney projects, as well as learn about how the sound effects for cartoons are made. This section deals with, the whole section deals with music and sound effects from films, but this particular corner specifically, theme park music. And the sheet music for Yo-Ho, which is a theme from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, written by Exatentio. So it's a good little corner here if you're a Disney Parks fan. It's also worth mentioning that Exatentio, who previously had no musical training, actually, as well as writing Yo-Ho for the Pirates ride, also wrote the Grim Grinning Ghost song for the Haunted Mansion. Walt Disney loved nature, so the natural world is another recurring theme in his work. Something particularly interesting on display in this room is the real Oscar that Walt Disney won for his true life adventure film, The Living Desert. This room also features concept art for a number of lands from the Disney parks, including the Matterhorn and Cars Land in California, Disneyland Paris's Frontierland, and Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park in Florida. I found the Innoventions room one of the most interesting in this entire exhibition, since it explores the pioneering technology produced by the Disney Company through the ages. Now here's an interesting exhibit. This bird in a cage here, this is actually bought by Walt Disney in New Orleans, and he had it in his office. And this was what he used as inspiration to come up with the idea of the Tiki Room in Disneyland. Of course, there is a display all about audio animatronics, the moving robots used throughout Disney park attractions. One of the first AAs to be produced was Abraham Lincoln, who stood up and gave a speech at the 1964 World's Fair in New York. Also on display is a multi-plane camera, the device Disney developed to create depth in animation in those early films. The monitor and chassis from the original Pixar computer in 1988. Now, of course, Pixar films are named after this computer. When the Pixar company started making computer-generated CGI cartoons, and of course Pixar was later acquired by Disney. Room 9 is for Disney park fans, with memorabilia from the first few years of Disneyland's operation and several ride vehicles from classic attractions on display. In this room you can also see a model of Hong Kong Disneyland's Castle of Magical Dreams. The exhibition concludes with a summary of Disney projects across the decades, showing you the true scope of the company's work in the film and entertainment industry. So that was the Disney D100 exhibition, and it's a really good experience if you're a Disney fan. £33 is a lot to pay, But as I say, if you're a Disney fan, the kind of exhibits that they've got there are going to appeal to you. Because of course you can see all the kind of things they've got there, you can see it online or in a book, but actually seeing it in person just makes it more special. For example, they've got the book that was at the start of the Cinderella animation film. You can actually see the book behind a glass case. Got lots of some original artworks that were produced for the animations and some copies of them. What I really like was seeing the multi-plane camera. I've read a lot about that. That's the camera that helped Disney get the depth effect in some of their early animations. And there's lots of exhibits, obviously from the films, but also from theme parks, lots of the concept works and talking about the theme parks, and also the live action films. You can see props that were used in the Star Wars films, or the more modern live action Disney films like Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella. So seeing all those things, like I say, it's really going to appeal to you if you're a Disney fan.
Now, when I say Disney fan, I mean a very specific kind of Disney fan. I don't mean a Disney fan who enjoys the Disney films, which most people do. I'm talking about the people who are interested in how the films were made. You know, are your kids going to be interested in looking at cameras used on the films or props that were used at the start of an animation? It's very much like a museum experience where you're going around reading a plate about what the exhibit is and looking at the exhibit. So just bear that in mind before you take your kids there. Since returning from the Disney D100 exhibition, somebody asked me, is it like the Harry Potter experience at Warner Brothers? Well, no, it isn't, because the thing about the Harry Potter experience is it's immersive. You're walking around giant sets as if you're in a piece of the film and you're seeing a lot of physical effects. The D100 is nothing like that. You're just looking at pieces from films, how the films were made, little models from the films, or maybe a reproduction of a drawing by one of the artists. So by saying a Disney fan, you've got to be a fan of Disney history. Are you interested in how these films are made, the props that were used to make them? That's what you got to ask yourself before you take your children to this. I'm sure some kids will love it, but probably at the older end. Certainly younger kids might not get the full benefit of the money you pay for the ticket.
Now, I looked online and the recommended time that you spend in the D100 experience is about 50 minutes to an hour. Now, we kind of took it relatively slowly because we were looking at a lot of the exhibits, reading the plaques. We spent about an hour and a half, and I would say an average time, an hour and a quarter to 2 hours. That's probably how long it's going to take you to get a good feel for the exhibition. You could take a lot longer, but plan on about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So was it worth it? Absolutely, for us, because we love Disney and the theme parks and the films. If you're not a big Disney fan, maybe not. It's quite pricey for what you get. So anyway, this exhibition is on until January 2024 at the XL Centre in London. If you're a Disney fan, definitely check it out. Thanks for watching Rob on Holiday. If you've enjoyed the video, subscribe here. It really helps our channel. And keep an eye on the channel for more city breaks, Disney and holiday experiences.